What's good, people? It's your man Chef off the dome, back in for another video. Today we're here to talk about hypothetical. What if Bad and Boujee never happened? Like if that song never took off from the memes and the vines or Instagram little short clips, YouTube, etc. What if it never went number one? And then what would that mean for Quavo in particular? So I'm going to break down. I think I'm going to do a 3-part series: Quavo, Offset, and Takeoff. I'm gonna do a retrospective what if Bad and Boujee never took off. So the year's 2016, the end of 2016, around October and November. Bad and Boujee takes off online, and in the beginning of 2017, Bad and Boujee hits number one, and I believe it was number one for 3 weeks. It was number one for 2 weeks straight. Ed Sheeran debuted at number one, then he took the spot from Ed Sheeran. Then Ed Sheeran took it back over and dominated the rest of the year. Now, Bad and Boujee was the 6th highest selling song on the Billboard Hot 100 charts for the year in 2017. I believe the number 1 rap song, or the number 2 rap song behind Humble by Kendrick Lamar that year. So big single right there for him. If Bad and Boujee never happened, my prediction is the Migos wouldn't disband it, but Quavo was obviously going on to something, and so was Offset and Gucci Mane had a couple collaborations. Offset had a couple features, but Quavo had more features than anybody. He was starting to do his own thing. Him and Travis Scott were already linking. He already had the song with him, Travis Scott, Young Thug, Pick Up the Phone in 2016 before Bad and Boujee even happened. And Quavo was starting to be seen more and more anyway in this media sphere. He still would have dated Saweetie. Saweetie would still made Icy, but that's a year later from now. I think the route would have took was this. Quavo probably would have focused on his mainstream singles career, and the Quality Control and Capital would have tried to push him as a singles rapper, along with being part of the Migos. Now, his success rate is up in the air because we don't know exactly how successful he would have been. But based off his debut studio album that got mixed reviews, but it had good sales, it just had mixed reviews critically. And based off his features, I think he still would have been a very successful rapper. I think he could have been successful probably for around the same time the Migos were successful. Probably a nice 2.5-year run on the, not the top industry, but being a mid-level rapper. What that looks like, for example, I think after Pick Up the Phone happened, he probably had a couple more collaborations. The collaboration album with Travis Scott would have still happened, I believe, in 2018 regardless, because they were still tight. Quavo would have spent 2017 getting guest spots on pop songs. Now, whether he get those top spots on DJ Khaled's I'm On One and getting the spot on Liam Payne's Strip That Down and getting the feature from Katy Perry with Migos, no, that wouldn't happen most likely because he wouldn't have had that Bad and Boujee cred. However, he probably still would have linked up with, moderate-sized pop artists, maybe got on a couple tracks or two. He still has behind-the-scenes relationship with people, so maybe he would have linked with Justin Bieber eventually and been featured on a deep album cut of one of his projects. Justin Bieber was cool, Big Sean, Tyga, other rappers, so it's not far-fetched to say JB wouldn't have saw Quavo as a good asset for his career and as a personal friend. Now, he might have been featured on main singles that Justin released in the future, like Intentions, and be on the Khaled singles. However, it's still Justin Bieber nod. He probably linked up with Chris Brown and other R&B artists in the spirit that are pop-wise. He could have still called a feature from Drake, probably got on Drake's 2017 More Life. He still had that spot on Portland, probably linked up with him to get on Views. So I think Quavo probably released his studio album in 2018 after having a decent year of features in 2017. First week numbers wise, I think he probably did 30 to 42,000 without having that Bad and Boujee and the Migos, man, the hottest thing in the world for rap in 2017 and 18. His second album, his sophomore album, he may have done another 10K more depending on how well received the first one is. I think the first album he released, if Bad and Boujee didn't happen, would sound a lot different. It probably been more trap inspired, less auto-tune and crooning, and more bars. Because when Quavo released that album, Migos had rose to stardom, and everybody established that Offset was lyrical. Takeoff was the lyrical one with the deep voice. He had ad-libs. He used the low-key memory. Quavo was the hook master. Quavo's Quavo honcho, whatever you call that stuff, it was mostly hooks. It was mostly like R&B trap beats and a couple of other hard-hitting beats with him doing his ad-libs himself. I think if he would never had the Bad and Boujee success and been labeled as the hit maker that does the hooks, I think Quavo would have been more focused on his technical ability and rapping skill. So I think his first album received a lot better than his debut album received in our universe. Let me know what you think about it. Do you think that I'm correct about Quavo being a mildly successful rapper without Bad and Boujee blowing up? Or do you think that the Migos would have pretty much never got a hit single if Bad and Boujee didn't blow up and Quavo would have fit into irrelevancy? I don't think that's the case, but some people may think that. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's your man Chef from Off the Dome. I'll be signing out. Peace.